Okay, for this video, I'm going to explain how to create a page using the Elementor page builder that has been added to this website. This gives it a little bit more functionality, a little more flexibility in creating pages for selling from this site. So I've already created this sublimation page. You can see from the link here, that's what it is. But normally, if I wanted to create a page, I would just come down here and click on page, and I'll show you where that goes here in a moment. Now, the difference between a page and a post. A post will publish to the blog. You have less control over how it appears, and you'll have a sidebar where you can do some selling. You want to use this for updates and news and just anything else that you want to add to the site moving forward. Pages are for things that are going to be static and are not really going to change all that much, other than maybe sales and things like that, as you can see with the home page. So for now, I'm just going to click Edit Page. And if I were to create a new page, this is where I would be first brought this editing screen right here. I would have to add my title, which I've already done because this page is already created. And then once I click outside of the title box, it would make the permalink say that. Now there are some things down here that you can do. Featured image is how it's going to show up in search and things like that. But it'll also appear at a certain place on the top of the page. We're not going to add a featured image to this because we're going to do all of our editing in Elementor. But if we weren't using Elementor, we would probably set a feature image. The template, since we are editing in Elementor, leave it. It should come preset. If it does not, you can change it, but you want to use this one here. As far as visibility, you can make it private if you want to create a page that's private or password protected. You can do that. You can choose the publication date if you wish right here. This was already published. But if I wanted to unpublish, I would just click switch to draft and it would go into draft mode. If I want to delete it, click this. I want to change the author, I could do that. I can even change the URL from right here if I want to do that. Or I can go up here and click edit and do the same thing. Okay? So for now, we're not going to update because we're going to edit in Elementor and we'll update in that side. Now what is going to happen is now we're going to be taken to the front end where we can edit in what's called what you see is what you get, or WYSIWYG mode, right? The first thing you want to do, you'll notice there's no header saying that this is the sublimation page. So the first thing you want to do is, you notice it says drag a widget here. This is all a simple drag and drop type of thing. Right here we're going to put sublimation. Now I want that to be centered, so I'm going to click here on the alignment. In addition, now the H2, these are tags that the search engines use to help index pages and keep better track of things. For a heading of a page, your H1 or H2 tag. Okay, so we're going to give it an H1 tag, but I don't like that what we've got here. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to change the style. Now right now the text color is not what I want because I want it to mimic what I have on the other pages. So I'll change that in a little while. The typography, I already know the family that I'm using for all of these is a Brill fat face. So I scroll down to it. Whoop, I overshot. There we go. That's the family that I'm using for these. And I'll adjust all of this in a moment. First, we're going to get our elements in here, and then we'll go from there. The size I'm using is extra large, so I'll put that in there now. But you can see how it changes everything as we go. All right, now this one is the next block down. The way I'm doing this, you can notice you can change your structure. If you want 5 columns, 4 columns, however many columns you want, these are the options that you have. We're going to go with this one where 1/3 is to the left and 2/3 to the right. Now notice right here below the title, you've got 1/3, 2/3, little pluses there, right? Click on this, it opens this up again, and I want to put an image down here. Now notice this little blue line appears behind it. That tells me that I'm in position. I drop that and I have an image. Now all I got to do is left click on this and choose the image I want. I think I'll use this one here. Okay. Now I want to add some text over here, just like I have in the other. So I'll come over here and I'll grab this text editor, drop it. Notice the blue line. It tells me I'm in position. Drop it there, and now I can change the text. Now, one of the things I did on all the other pages was I used a heading 3 for all of the text, and I'll change the color in a little bit, as well as add text to it. So that's what I've got for that. Now, below this, in keeping with the other pages, I'm just going to create, now if I don't want to use any of these, I'll just click this, okay? Now I've got that structure there, and what this allows me to do is I can go through and I can very quickly create a variety of structures to the page, however I want to do it. If down here I want to add several images like this, let's say I want to add a block of images like that. Now I can do it. So then what I do is I come up here and I go image. It's a little trickier now because I can't see. There it is. Okay, and I'll choose a sublimation image. I think I'll choose this one. This one? No, I don't know. Let's just put this one in here. Okay, and then I'll click on this, drag another image down here. And for this one, we'll put this in here. And then, oops, cancel that. Click on this. So I can once again put an image down in here. And I guess we'll put, something like this. So now I've got a little bit of a fancier website, right? But I still have this right here in the middle that I need to add something to. And this is where I was placing the text, which is for really the bulk of the article. Because down here I'm going to create an article that talks about what sublimation is. Right here is going to be a little bit of a selling area to promote Clark's Custom Creations as far as their sublimation goes. Just 2-3 sentences of what they do and how they do it. Down here is going to be information specifically about sublimation with another call to action. And then down here, a few of the products, just for show, is what these are. So now, what I'm going to do, come down here. I'm satisfied with the basic layout. I'm going to click Update, and it's going to update this page. Okay. Now, unfortunately, to get out of this page, simple way to do it is click View Page. Okay, so now I'm on this page and I'm viewing it. This is how it's going to look as of right now. Now, what I want to do is I want to mimic these other pages. So I'm going to right-click on Screen Printing, open in a new tab. That way I can go between the two pages. Okay, I'm going to click on Edit with Elementor. This is going to allow me to pull the exact same colors from both sides. If I click on this, see Screen Printing, I come up here to Style. Right here is the text color I'm using. It's already highlighted. I right-click, copy that. Now I'm going to come back over here to the Sublimation tab, and I'm going to Edit with Elementor. Okay, now I'm going to click on the Sublimation tab, come here and give it the style. Here's the text color. Paste. Okay, so that's taken care of. I got the typography right. Let's check. A real fat face. Now I've got normal is blend mode. So I'm going to come over here. Blend mode is normal. Okay. Next, I've got text shadow. All right. Now I notice 3, 2, and 5 right here on the text shadow. That's what I'm using at the moment, but the color is what I want mostly. So I'm going to copy that color, and I'm going to remember this is 3, 2, 5. Okay. So I'm going to come over here to text shadow. First I'm going to give it the color. Right click and paste it in there. Whoops. Now I'm going to go using my keyboard 3, 2, or I could use these, or I can use the slider, however I want to do it. Now notice one of the things, if I use the slider, watch what happens over here on sublimation. If I decide I want more blur, that's what it looks like. Okay? If I decide that I want the horizontal and verticals to change, that's what it looks like. Okay? You can move that around any way you want. Okay? 325 is where it is. That keeps it in line with all the other pages. So if I want to move any of that around and make it a little fancier, I can do that, and then I can easily, just by mimicking the settings on the one that I like, I can go back to another page and change it as I see fit. Okay? Just double check, make sure I have the text shadow right. 325, 325, same colors, same everything. Okay, now, the next thing I want to do is right here, I want this coloring to be the same. So what I do is I come down here, see this right here? I click on this, style, text color. Now look here, that text color is not the same, right? Why? I'll show you. What I actually did was I used this feature here to create the text color. Okay? You can do it either way, but here's the thing. If you do it this way, then you don't have it in this. Now, the only reason I did it like that is because my text color is really the same as here. Okay? I do that so that it's just a little trick that I use to make sure I maintain consistency all the way down. This is the same color as that, but it looks different because it doesn't have the shading in the background. I can put that shading in background there if I want, because I created this as a heading, but I don't necessarily want to. Alright, and that reminds me, that's one thing that I forgot about right here, right? I didn't put a heading there. So let's see if I can do that. Let's see if we can put a heading in right here. Boom, now I have my heading, and this is where it's going to go. What is sublimation printing? And we'll put that out there. Now I can adapt that heading same way as I did all the rest. Give it a real fat face right here, just like I did. Where is it at? Bam, right there. And then I can also give a text shadow if I want. I don't want to in this particular case. However, now this is a heading 1. I'm going to make this a heading 2. Okay, so it's a little smaller, but that allows the search engines to look at it and go, okay, what is this? And then down here, when I'm typing this, I will have a heading 3, which will be done using this. Okay? So, moving on, that allows me to get all these colors. Now, right here, I do want to make sure my color is correct. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure I'm going to lift it again just to be sure I have it. Click on content. Now I'll just highlight this. Oh, wait a minute. Is that what I did? No, this I used a darker color. So up here I use that color. Down here I use a darker. So I'm going to show you what to do here. Here, click on this. Using the color that I've already put in, I paste that there. But right here, I'm going to show you a little trick. Right here, it's got a hashtag. If I click on this OK, it's not going to convert over because the hashtag is already here. So just move my cursor over, backspace, get rid of that, and now it changes the color. To keep with that color scheme, put a period here and drop down. Because if I drop down like this, now the color changes back to black. Okay? So that's a trick that you can use to keep with that color scheme and not have to keep changing it. Now, down here, this color, this is also going to be that same color. Okay? So I'll click on this, paste, come over here, see, get rid of the hashtag. Now my headings are going to be the same color. And I've got this preset up here, so I can go ahead and type everything else. I can do my creation of my article in regular, and then when I need to, I come in and type info here, drop down another heading, come up here, click on this, highlight it, and just click that, and I've got my coloring here. When I drop down here, it's back to black. Okay, now I'm not actually using the black in this, or the really it's gray here. So what I did is I came down here, and you can look at that if you click on this, come to style. You notice this is a blacked in box. Okay, the little blue line around this box, that's the one that I'm using. That's what you can see there, right? So all you've got to do is come here, click on the text color, and it's this one here. Now you got a blue line around it, and all of your text in this heading is going to be the same color as over here. Okay, now to add these pictures on the side like I've just done here, here's what you do. Click where you want the picture to appear. Click it always on the left. Don't come over here. It throws it off for some reason. It's a little weird. You always use from the left side, and always start with a sentence. So like if you've got another sentence, here, either start here with your picture or here with your picture. I always recommend the first line beneath the heading for pictures. That generally keeps it looking a little nicer as far as the layout goes. But you can experiment with it. Click Add Media. Now you've got all your pictures here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this picture of the sublimation machine. Now we don't have any of this in here. That'll be another video. But for right now, check your alignment settings. It usually comes none, but you can go left, right, or center. You can add a link, and you want the size. I recommend going with medium in all cases, unless you want to add a thumbnail, which is 150 by 150. Full size is usually too big, but if you want to do full size, put it in the center of the page. That's something you really want to highlight. No wrong way to do it. Just whatever. And then once these are set, click Insert into Post, and that will be there. When we type in the rest of our information, it's gonna lay out your pictures. Now I can add more pictures as I add more information. Boom, boom, boom across here, and that's how you lay out your page in a very nice way. Once all this is done, if at any stage you're satisfied with where you're at, click Update, and it'll update. That way, if you make a mistake and you really don't like what you've done, okay, let's say I do something here and I go, oh man, I really don't like this. If I update at this point, it's going to save it. Or if I do something that I really don't like maybe, here, I'll give you an example. Let's say I decide I want to move this around. I want to move this, and oh man, I've just got everything all messed up, and I don't know what to do. Oh my God, what do I do? Well, if I click Update, I'm stuck with this, right? But I just updated just before doing that. So now all I have to do, watch this. I'm just going to exit out of the page. I exit completely out of the page, and it's not going to save what I did. Changes you made may not be saved. Leave. Now it's back to the way it was. So if you get to a point you're satisfied with how it looks, click Save and then move to the next stage. Click Save, move to the next stage. Because if you mess it up and all you got to do to fix it is back out of it completely. Okay? And of course, another thing you can always do if you ever mess up something, oh my God, what do? Hey, give me a call. I can put you on screen sharing, and I can, you can share your screen, and I can look at what you got, and or I can go in and do it myself. Either way, and we can take care of it. Okay, so that's how you build pages using Elementor and the WooCommerce theme called NewStore, and that's all I got for you. And look for the next video, maybe in a couple of days.